Hello and good evening, good evening. A lot of good energy in the room tonight, so thank you. And thank you to all the students that are supporting us tonight. I really appreciate that. It means so much. We'll do some logistics here in a second, but before I forget, I just turned off my phone, and if you wouldn't mind doing the same on the ringer of yours, I sure would appreciate it. And we'll do some introductions here and some thank yous, and the real thank you is to our Chancellor, who I will formally introduce in just a moment, but it's so exciting for us here at East Georgia State College to be bringing back the Vision Series. So, good evening again. My name is David Schechter. I'm the president here at East Georgia State College. If you haven't been to the campus in a while, how beautiful does the campus look tonight? Real nice, right? So thank you. We want to thank everyone from the plant ops and the campus folks who keep this place looking so good. And I often hear from people, I haven't been to campus for a while, but when I just went, it looks so nice. And that's so true tonight. Today, we're bringing back the Vision Series, as I mentioned. I want to thank Susan Gray for helping me learn this story a little bit. But let me tell it to you quickly, because I want to set some context for how important tonight's event is and our speaker. In July of 1999, so it was almost 23 years ago, Mrs. Jean Morgan and then the East Georgia College, right, it was called East Georgia College at the time, President Jerry Ashcroft, along with a group of college and community supporters, met for the first time to discuss a Vision Series. The focus of that series was to be on the students and exposing them to culture and different careers that they may not have gotten a chance to experience if it wasn't for the program. The goal was also to bring community members, and thank you community members for joining us tonight, to campus for exciting events like this that they may not be able to see elsewhere. And through the generous donations of Mrs. Jean Morgan, the Vision Series has sponsored visitors to the East Georgia State College campus, and you may have seen on the back mural back there some of those photographs. President Jimmy Carter and Rosalind Carter were here. Cokie Roberts, Hamilton Jordan, Dr. Maya Angelou, and the Atlanta Pops have all been in this auditorium speaking with crowds just like this. Students have gone on field trips, thanks to Miss Morgan and the Vision Series, to places like the High Museum, the Fox Theater, the White House, the Pentagon, and we've had visiting exhibits from the Smithsonian Institute brought to this campus as well, all thanks to the Vision Series. So there's a long legacy that we're carrying on tonight that we can all be very proud of. And we honor tonight, as I mentioned, as we bring the series back to campus, the legacy of Mrs. Morgan and all of those participants in the early discussions and undertakings, including our own Dr. John Durden. Please join me in thanking all of them for their vision. We're going to do a second Vision event as well, and why I've got a captured audience tonight, I want to mention it to you, and that is, please mark your calendars for a second Vision Series event this semester. We're going to do it on Tuesday, November 1st at 11 a.m., Tuesday, November 1st. It's National Authors Day, and I want to thank Dr. Sandra Sharman for bringing this author to our campus. We've set up Kathy Bradley, and I'm showing you her book, and I'll have it later if anyone would like to take a look. The book is Breathing and Walking Around, Meditations on a Life by Kathy Bradley. And she's been writing from her family farm here in Southeast Georgia for years, and the Corel Scholars will be reading Breathing and Walking Around in preparation for that event. So please join us November 1st, 11 a.m. It's a morning event for that one, if you're able. A few logistics and announcements, if I can. First, we have some special guests that we'd like to recognize, so please stand when I call you. The first is one of our Board of Regents members, Everett Kennedy from over in Statesboro, has joined us tonight. Everett, would you mind letting us recognize you? Thank you. We have a number of important elected officials here as well who have been strong supporters of East Georgia State College that I'd like to recognize. Representative Butch Parrish. Thank you, Butch. Senator Billy Hickman. Billy, thank you. Sheriff Jeff Brewer is here tonight as well. Thank you. And Kristen Hall, the clerk of the Superior Court. Kristen. Appreciate that. And Twin City Mayor Matt Donaldson was here, so I do want to recognize him, but he had to step out for another event, Mayor Donaldson. So thanks to all of you for that support. So the format of the evening is that after Dr. Perdue completes his remarks, we'd like to have some Q&A. So we've set up the 2 microphones here, and we've put a little X on the ground by the microphone. So we'll need you to stand pretty close to it so that everyone can hear okay. And we'll do some Q&A for a while. We'll ask for some questions when our Chancellor is done with his remarks. Please use those microphones set up, and while we welcome all questions, please keep those questions kind of brief, right, to allow for as many questions as possible while everyone is here. If you would adhere to that, we'd sure appreciate it, and I'll help moderate that part of the program. Next, we are excited, as some of you know, to be celebrating our 50th anniversary of this campus starting in January. Please be on the lookout for more information, and if you'd like to be involved with the 50th, would you please send us a note and let us know, because we'll be putting some committees together to help with the organizing of the 50th. And the email address is very simple. You can just write me at president@ega.edu, president@ega.edu, and we'd love to have any support, and we'll be putting together panels and other speakers and events throughout the year that should be really fun. Next, I want to make a push for some social media. So I hate to say break out your phones, but you know what I mean when I say, will you follow us on social media and share pictures from tonight or anything that you'd like to? We're trying to build our social media following, and we know a number of you are real good at taking photos and videos. And if you wouldn't mind, after the event, if you're not already following us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and TikTok, please do. We'd love to see our social media presence grow and grow. And then the last announcement that I want to make is this Saturday, as some of you know, we'll be really hopping on campus. From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., it will be Family and Friends Fun Day. So Family and Friends Fun Day, I've not participated in. I understand we haven't had it on campus since 2019. It's been 3 years. So this Saturday, we'll be out there. There'll be plenty of things going on, games for the kids and food, and we're going to have, I can't wait to see this thing, the Bobcat Duct Tape Boat Regatta. Right? So we're going to see some boats. I watched one being put together, and all it was cardboard and duct tape. So when they say duct tape boat regatta, that's truly all it is. And we're excited about seeing that out here on Saturday. So please come join us and bring your families on Saturday for Family and Friends Fun Day. So let me do some introductions now of our speaker. Some of you may not know, Chancellor Perdue's already been to campus. He was here back in June. He visited the campus. It was 100 degrees, and I thought, it'll be cooler if he comes back in September. It's not, but he still came. So please join me in thanking him for that, because when he came and visited in June, he took a tour. He did everything that a great visit would entail, and we were so thankful. And then when we asked him to come back and share his vision of the USG with us as part of the Vision series here, he agreed immediately, and we're so thankful for that. And I heard at his investiture a couple of weeks ago that if any of you, I'm going to share a secret, if any of you want to get on his good side, he's very fond of Snickers bars and boiled peanuts. So what we wanted to do was not just give him Snickers bars or boiled peanuts. You can get that anywhere. So what we did earlier today was he participated in the honeybee extraction that took place out in the rotunda here, and he's got his own jars of East Georgia State honey to take home with him, and we think that's pretty good. So thank you, Chancellor, for participating in that. It's a pretty special gift, I think, right? How many schools can give the Chancellor jars of honey? Not too many. So we're very excited about that. And thank you again, Chancellor, for being a good sport with us. So let me say a few words about Dr. Sonny Perdue. Many of you know the Chancellor's servant leader experience. This is a person who has literally dedicated decades of his life to public service and serving others. I just want to touch on a few of these. The Board of Regents named Dr. Sonny Perdue the 14th Chancellor of the University System of Georgia on April 1st of this year. He oversees 26 public colleges and universities with a $10 billion, that's with a B, billion-dollar annual budget. This is 48,000 faculty and staff and more than 340,000 students. this chancellor's position is so important for the state of Georgia. But prior to becoming a chancellor, Perdue was the 31st Secretary of the U.S. Department of Agriculture from 2017 to 2021. He also served 2 terms as the governor of the great state of Georgia from 2003 to 2011, and was a member of the Georgia Senate before that from 1991 to 2001. There, he also chaired the Senate Higher Education Committee and eventually became Senate President pro tem. Dr. Perdue was born in Perry, Georgia, and he graduated from Warner Robins High School. He earned his Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree from the University of Georgia. He's also a veteran, serving 4 years in the U.S. Air Force, and is married to the former Mary Ruff, also a UGA grad. As we are celebrating our 50th anniversary soon, I want to congratulate them too. They just celebrated their 50th anniversary on the day of his investiture 2 weeks ago. So congratulations, Dr. Perdue. If you wouldn't mind, please join me in a warm East Georgia State College welcome for Dr. Sonny Perdue.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. How y'all doing? Good. It's good to be with you. I was speaking to some of your students here today, and I realized they may not use that word y'all. And I'll tell you my experience with that. When I was elected sort of unexpectedly governor in 2002, the Northeastern Press, the New York Press, came down and they said, I hear you refer to this word y'all a lot. What does that mean? I said, well, it means y'all. They said, well, we don't use that word in New York. I said, I know. But they said, is it singular or plural? I said, well, it's singular. They said, well, really? I said, how can you tell? He said, well, what's the plural version? I said, it's all y'all. So welcome all y'all tonight. And we're happy to be here with you. I see a lot of energy in the room with your students. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I look forward to visiting with you and having a good session here on the eve of the 50th anniversary and reinvigorating the vision for East Georgia State College. I appreciate that kind introduction, President Schechter. You did a great job reading it just like I wrote it, so thank you very much, sir. But anyway, it's good to be here. I hope you all understand about a vision. It was a vision 50 years ago in this community where the community decided to tax themselves to create this institution. That's what you'll be celebrating next January, next year, in the 50th anniversary. And many of those citizens are still around. They remember those days when they had a vision of an opportunity for their young people to be able to be educated, to get a college education and an associate's degree, beginning that college journey right here in Swainsboro in Emmanuel County, without having to go somewhere else, because you could study, you could work, you could learn, you could stay right here. So I want to thank you all for those of you who were here at the beginning 50 years ago. Thank you for that vision. Thank you for being here again to continue the legacy of East Georgia College. As you can see, we've got a great group of bright students, energetic athletes here tonight, and I want to acknowledge them in just a minute, but it's a time to reflect. You know, in Proverbs, there's a verse that says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Visions are important tonight. Visions are important. Oftentimes, young people, your vision ought to outdistance your ability right now. If you feel like you can achieve that vision, it's not big enough. So dream big. You never know. I'm a farm boy from Middle Georgia, from Bon Air, Georgia. Had no idea I'd be serving the President of the United States. Had no idea I'd be governor of this great state. Had no idea I'd be chancellor of a university system of 340,000 students. So apply yourself and have the vision of what you can do and what you can start right here on that journey to a life of successful living, you know, going forward. Take every advantage of what you have here, what's being offered, meet new friends, have a great college experience, participate in athletics and others, and get your start right here, because you never know where God will take you. Without a vision, the people perish. With a vision, you have an opportunity to do things you could never imagine that you could do tonight. So it's a great celebration tonight to reinvigorate this vision series. I want to thank one of my bosses, one of my 19 bosses, Regent Everett Kennedy, for being here. I report to a board of regents that the governor appoints 19 members, and he's a very active member on that. Two of our public funders are here tonight. That's the legislature. Your tax dollars go through the legislature, and they appropriate that to the Board of Regents to create part of that big budget that you heard about tonight. Representative Butch Parrish, an old friend when I was in the legislature. I remember reading about Butch when I was a young fella, just a tiny guy, about Butch Parrish. And then Senator Hickman, we are glad you're here tonight. I won't do that to you, okay? But we're glad you're here. I appreciate you serving in that seat that my good friend Jack Hill served so long in that way as well, and represented Southeast Georgia in a great way. But for some of you, it may be hard to believe. It's been almost 50 years. For me and Mary, it's kind of hard to believe. For some of you in my model year, 1946, I used to think somebody celebrating their 50th anniversary were really, really old. I found out they're not so old at all. So it's a good life, and I've been so blessed in that way. And I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you on the eve of the 50th anniversary to reinvigorate the vision for East Georgia State College. You know, these young people in front of you are why East Georgia State College is here. These and those that have gone before them and those that will come after them. What you do here for the faculty and the staff. President, I was very impressed with the tenure when I came before and you introduced me to your staff, and the tenure, how many people have been laboring in this venue for a number of years here because they believed in the vision and the mission of East Georgia State College. They believed and have a heart for influencing the lives of these young people, you know, going forward. That's a blessing to have people like that will spend time, their careers, trying to mold your lives and giving you a shot for an opportunity for a better life yourself. What you all do matters. You have the opportunity to literally change the trajectory of these young people's lives. Many of them may be first-generation college students. Their parents may not have gone, and we know that sometimes young people come to a place like East Georgia College, and they don't know whether college is for them or not. But the services you wrap around them, the sense of belonging they have for coming to a place like this, they'll remember for the rest of their lives. Many of us can think about those first college days and the friends we made there, sometimes lifelong friends, and the relationships we made, the sports we played and the games we won, and unfortunately those that we lost, and create more character in that as we went along. So what you do matters. That's the main thing. And we want to continue. We want to continue 50 more years to see a place like this continue to influence the lives of young people. You know, East Georgia graduated its first class in 1973, been a major driver to the local and state economy ever since. This multiplier effect of having a successful college in the community really cannot be underestimated. We can quantify it. How about $65 million? That's pretty good in a community the size of Emmanuel County and the region around it, isn't it? That's what it contributes there, with opportunity for employment and jobs, but more importantly, the influence that you will have on these young people's lives. We'll talk about it a little bit more, but it's just amazing to think about the impact that a university campus can have on a place like this. Our students, that's why we're here. And I know that many of you are athletes. I want to commend the coach and for building up this athletic program. You learn a lot about life on teams. Working in teams is what you'll be doing for the rest of your life, whether it's a team of you and a spouse, or whether it's a team of a family, or whether it's a team of a work. Team sports are really important. So I want to thank you all, congratulate you all for participating in team sports, where you learn how to pick up one another and to support one another and to really be part of something bigger than yourself. So I know we got a lot of athletes in here tonight. Raise your hand if you're an athlete there. Look at there, folks. That's your group right there. Now, let's see. Thank you, guys. thank you, coaches, for encouraging them to come tonight. I hope you didn't talk about any wind sprints if they didn't get here, but thank you so much. I know they're here all voluntarily tonight. I'm honored to help President Schechter again relaunch this series. I've got big shoes to fill. He already told you who would occupy this pulpit on some of these other vision series, but I'm honored to be here. I've really had young people, I've had a great life. I've been blessed in my life. I'm, as I told you, married my sweetheart on a blind date in the University of Georgia. We met in 1968, dated for a few years, and got married in 1972, and celebrating 50 years. 4 children and 14 grandchildren. And all 4 of our children, we believe in populating the earth, y'all. Our 4 children were graduates of the university system from Valdosta to Kennesaw to the University of Georgia in Athens. We've already had 2 granddaughters graduate, one right here at Georgia Southern, Everett, and then one from North Georgia. And our graduate right here is teaching the 5th grade in Metter, Georgia. Everett helped her buy her house over in Metter, and she just loves it here. So we're proud of them, but that's the opportunities that you all have here as well. But I grew up on a farm in Middle Georgia. My mother taught English, but it's been a blessed life for me. I just want to tell you, education's been a big part of that. I'll tell you how much I think about this job. When I got back from D.C., having been Secretary of Agriculture, former governor, I just signed into LinkedIn, and my profile said, "Border dirt farmer, tried a couple other jobs but never could escape." And so when I got this job, I figured I need something a little bit more professional than some catty comment like that. So I said, "Chancellor of the University System of Georgia, this may be the most impactful job I've ever had." You hear that? United States Secretary of Agriculture, 2-term governor of Georgia, Chancellor of the University System. This may be the most impactful job I've ever had. I believe you faculty and staff believe that as well. I think you believe that, President Schechter, that the opportunity to influence the lives and provide a journey of a career for these young people is truly impactful. So we touch the lives of people in a way that counts and adds value to themselves. We can't do it alone. You all have got to, just like you're on the athletic field, you've got to pick up and add value to yourself, take advantage of the opportunity that you have. That's really what higher education is all about, providing an opportunity, helping Georgians grow, learn about their possibilities, exposing them to the dreams they have and never thought possible, dreams that we can make real for them. Don't limit your vision. Do not limit your vision. Dream big and have some of those big, audacious, hairy goals out there that you want to be. You want to be governor. You want to be United States Secretary. You want to be chancellor. You can do it. Just think about the possibilities. It starts right here, but don't limit your vision. Let's acknowledge really who the university system is. 26 institutions, as President Schechter said, spread across the state, and our mission really is a system of teaching, research, and service. That's what the University System of Georgia does. Teaching, research, and service. 26, 340,000 students. And listen to these kind of numbers of the progress that's been made. Since 2011, the number of degrees awarded to our graduates has increased by 36%. That includes some 74,500 degrees conferred this past year alone, the most in history in the University System of Georgia. And you think that's good? East Georgia State College graduates